Today we are going to discuss training, testing and model evaluation in machine learning. So these three things are very important in machine learning and I'm going to simplify that for you. So stay tuned and watch full video. In this video, I am going to discuss the training, testing and model evaluation in a very simplified manner with one great example and the animation. So let's start. Suppose we have a 10 set of data with us, 10 set of data. Out of the 10 set of data, we are going to use 7 data for a training purpose and 3 data for testing purpose. Suppose you have 100 data, that means you are going to use 70 data for training purpose and 30 data for testing purpose. So let's try to take the same example to understand how training and testing take place with 70% of the data as a training and the 30% of the data as testing. So let's go to the understanding this in one great animated example. Suppose we have the model, or we can say we have a machine which is a learning. So what we are going to do in this, we are going to make a very beautiful way of understanding how the training and testing take place in a machine learning. So first, suppose I'm giving some input to the model and you wonder to know that the output also is given to the machine. Now you will be quite confused, sir, what is the meaning of that? Suppose you have a data and the data is suppose salary and the output is whether the person can pay a loan or not. Suppose the input is 10,000 rupees as a dollar, $10,000 or 10,000 rupees. Okay, so 10,000 rupees or $10,000, the output is the person cannot pay the loan. Okay, because he actually need $10,000 or 10,000 rupees for his normal living expenses. Suppose the second input is 20,000 rupees and the output is he cannot pay the loan. So this video is recorded in India. So in India, suppose you have a 30,000 rupees salary, you might pay a loan with a very nominal EMI. So that is basically require 20,000 rupees required to run your family and other expenses. So this way we are going to feed the different input to the machine and output is also known. Suppose in the fourth input we give 40,000 rupees salary and the person can pay a loan. So this way we are going to give the input and output to the machine. So the machine understand, the model understand, if this is the input, this is the output, this is the input. If 10,000 salary is there, he cannot pay the loan. 25,000 salary is there, he can pay the loan. 30,000 salary is there, he can pay the loan. So now, if we ask the machine, can a 15,000 rupees person can pay a loan? The machine will say no, because we have given 10,000 cannot pay the loan, 20,000 cannot pay the loan. So if you ask a machine whether a 15,000 rupees salary person can pay a loan, the machine will say no. So now this is basically called as a training. So we have actually trained the machine with 70% of the data. Okay, so let's try to understand what is the meaning of testing. So now we are not going to give the output to the machine, we are going to give only input. So the output will be produced by the machine. Let's say, okay, the input is given 50,000 salary. So machine says yes, he can pay the loan, because machine has learned in the training that above 40,000 rupees salary or 25,000 rupees salary, he can pay the loan. So if you ask 50,000, he says yes, he can pay the loan. So now the output is also available with us, because 10 data set, in 10 data set we have the output. So the green one is also available with us. So we can compare the output which is produced by the machine and the output we already have. Okay, now we'll go to the next one. Similar input is given and we'll check how the machine is responding. Okay, this part I'm going to take in a depth, that's called model evaluation. Similarly, the 10th input is also given and we'll see how the machine is behaving. Okay, now, so 70% of the data is been used for a training and 30% of the data is been used for a testing purpose. So now the training and testing is very clear to us, crystal clear to us. let's go and try to understand what is the meaning of model evaluation. So for that, the input 8, 9 and 10, I'm going to zoom in. So let's try to understand what is the meaning of model evaluation. So suppose we take input 8 and the output is produced by the machine, and the output already we have with us. So I'm going to compare the output produced by the machine with the output we have. So if the output of the machine is exactly what we want, so we can say the model is working properly, the training is properly done. Similar we can do for ninth reading, and similarly we are going to do it for next reading, that is 10th reading. So this is basically called as a model evaluation. Okay, so once the model evaluation is done and you get a very good accuracy using a classification report or a confusion matrix, there are two methods to evaluate your model. You can deploy your model for basically in the live data. So first we need to do three important process, and that is training, testing and the model evaluation.